which is
They're
what
bringing more again. What is this slobber knocker in the mid lane that we're seeing? It's just again and again and again these heroes are running at each other. Looks like the Hoodwink on the sideline looking for a snipe. Lands onto the Primal Beast and the Primal Beast goes...
Because he probably felt like he needed to. And you don't want to get a Battlefield and be like, you know what, I'm going to come to fights now. It's the same as like when you get a Midas, you're like, no, I want to chill out, like...
And a couple of right clicks from Troll did to the Primal Beast. That was insane!
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty low armor, so the Shredder does do a lot, much of the benefit too.
Oh, static slide. Looks like 3 runes. Over. But the blood grenade comes out, and there is some protection coming out from Sven. Okay, beautiful rotation in from Sven there. I think they probably died.
He does well.
Yeah, they did just trade the mid for the pos 5. Primal Beast going forward. He spots the axe, and I wonder if he elects to just keep vision on that axe so that he can't initiate onto this team. They might be just be trading one of the coolest and funnest heroes in the game, and it's certainly very strong. But I keep seeing it come out here, around this sort of point in the game, before there's a reveal of a mid or a pos 1. He needs to just get up that hill! He is away!
Ghost does have Shikuchi.
Ghost is chasing. Puts out the vision. How long till Shikuchi's back up? 5 seconds. Blood grenade again. He elects to burn a second one. 2
That was a pretty messy fight.
It was, yeah. And a long fight too.
Yeah, I think Dyer got most of the stats. I think, just by virtue of Sandstorm. Ready now gonna get Roche, Cheese, and Ag's blessing for someone. I guess I'll give that to the Ursa.
Here's the
Wyvern is about to have Parasma, which is going to be a nice big damage boost.
Jesus, it's not the lower division, the intermediate division. Division below this one. And there's a player in that division called Kozzy. I know you've met him and maybe know him well on the enemy team. And like, I get it, Vacuum strong. Spoopy Ball strong, Iron Shell strong, and especially Iron Shell strong on heroes like Lifestealer. Over the cliff to get away from the big old dinosaur. And I wonder if she feeds herself to the tower here rather than feeding the kill, because that Weaver will look for her. She starts to port. Weaver's coming up. He doesn't have the damage. Smart play. Just get blink in. That is a huge initiation from the clock, and now the fish is caught out of position, and he might just go down as well. Big back wall. Is the back wall enough to save the fish? No, Slider goes down. MTC hastes himself to get out there though, a little bit further forward, and he would have taken himself a clinks, I think. Look at all that armor on him. He decides to just burn it. I don't care if you take my Aegis. That Storm Spirit is not up, and I'm going to take your barrier. And he strolled in at level 4. It was a bit worrisome, and it still is very worrisome. Good news is, Axe having a good game. Top of the last hits here. He gets himself an early blink dagger. He can.
But I mean, these are pretty much the same bands, aside from the Primal.
Dyer's turn to pick.
Yeah, pretty much the
Chicken as a perfect example. We've talked about him before. This RFA player is one to watch. He is super interesting as a support player. And just makes some really clever... Pop the rage and deal with that Storm Spirit. Jumps inside MGC, so he doesn't die from the clinks! Beautiful play coming out from Ari there. Nice. Shit like that. Unless he's got a team behind him. Looking difficult for Dyer at this stage.
Because I think in this situation, an Ursa with an Abyssal can man-fight a Troll that doesn't have one. an Orc. Not even so much the Orchid, but it's the Atos. He doesn't want to be popping BKB just for an Atos. So it makes sense.
Ghost was
I think
the star feature of that show.
from each team, it would definitely be Ghost and Johnny for MVP.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
put in a huge amount of work. I feel like RE did a serviceable job.
Clinks do Clinks things. You know, playing in the enemy jungle, playing in the back lanes. He's got his Dragonlance, he's got his Desolator. We might see him start to have a bit more impact now, I think. Just take his safety! Oh, bit of a whiff there, Johnny. Maybe just try with the spear while he's hasted.
Well played by MGC and a little bit of mistake.
I don't want Juggernaut on my team, and I feel
I think
exactly...
Jug is way better than a Clinks. If I have to take one, I'm taking a Juggernaut 100% of the time.
You know what? Maybe I would even take a Jug, as much as I hate that hero. Just a support per second, but it's actually pretty significant, and down goes the Sand King. Insignificant compared to Ursa's damage, of course. And now they might just take
not
the
sure
Roche
how
as
they
it
killed
comes top.
Contra there. The kind of point where the Weaver's damage falls off a little bit, and your Sven obviously doesn't do a lot of damage. That's not what you're picking it as a support. So when there's no
Blink on Axe too,
Wyvern-
by the way.
Yeah. In armor at the moment. That means he is hitting hard. And Reverie is chilling bottom.
There is so much damage coming out of this Radiant team, by the way. Like, there's a lot of damage coming out of this Radiant team.
Yeah, and again, that's the benefit of this.
Trying to snipe a hero once again. 4 staffs forward onto MGC, but
what I
MGC
mean.
is very thick and just pops his greaves. The dust come out, and all of a sudden Reverie is in a whole lot of trouble. The fish is on top of him with a life.
But it's a support pairing.
Where's the... I guess the Sven stun. It is a good stun, but it's not a super long stun. Oh, God, this dinosaur is scary. He's pretty stacked himself. Blade Mail already up.
I think that's just the death of Huncho feeling overconfident that he can stand there in the sandstorm and be anywhere near as impactful as his axe in the previous series. I just think it really boils down to Radiant had
really talented troll player, and he, not every game, but I used to see him pick it up all the time, so something in these big brain Dota players is drawing him towards that little sneaky sword.
I mean, if you can walk up on someone and get the only rupture and like a ulti that assist.
And I know that's a really like a really particular. Maybe his Arctic burn was ending and he sort of was walking down the edge or something, but
he's got an ag, so it's toggled. So it shouldn't be that, but I don't know.
That's weird. Weird. Anyway, and ult is up, he turns, throws it on, Axe ports in and deals with the Wyvern! That's 2 dunks, no? 1 dunk, doesn't get the second dunk.
That feels awful.
Nice. We're starting to see some items come out on everyone here. What have we got? Reverie. Looks like I'd like to spend those buybacks.
And the Clinks is just tickling the Lifestealer.
Doesn't put himself ahead, or is it the Slardar hitting his 6 and finds someone in lane, strips armor, and puts him down?
I think it's pretty even, to be honest.
Yeah?
+1, but he's not in a position where he's going to be able to do that anytime soon.
When does he start doing damage? That's the question.
That's a question I also have.
Like, I'm not trying to flame. Like, waste as much time as he possibly can.
And in that time, you see them almost kill Reverie. Reverie's forced to ulti, and then the Wyvern just Winter's Curses the Hood and Hood Blink.
Thank you for the
just
follow. Blink Abyssal, you said? Oh.
On the troll, like instead of you lifesteal so much and you deal so much damage, and they do such little damage to you. It's great.
Beautiful
Nice.
catch from Johnny.
Yeah, nice call. That was just on the very edge. The Ursa's.
Can they catch any more? They're pretty quick on Team
That
Dire.
may have been the reveal of a Hex on the Darkseer as well.
Hex catches the Storm Spirit out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Snapper's getting picked a lot. I think she's most picked hero, Riyadh.
Is she most picked now?
She's
No
one of the
way.
most picked.
That's 16
Maybe.
seconds. He's not gone for a long time. Meanwhile, I've seen some pain put on this Ursa bottom. I reckon they're thinking about him. Troll straight back out to the lane. He doesn't have a BKB to save himself, and they kill his courier. Meanwhile, bottom, exactly what we said was going to happen is happening.
And
Or
he TPs
do
out.
they
Will
try
be
the
able to
blink
get a
stun? With his ult, trying to keep that troll off of him, but there's a massive ult that comes out from that hoodwink, who's on the sideline that he didn't try and kill, and of course he goes down because of it.
MGC kind of feeding for no reason there. That was.
Let me yell in his ears. Ilstaya, do you want to say hi?
Hello, hello.
Okay, awesome. You guys let me know whether or not I need to bring Ilstaya up or down. But let's get this game rolling. So into the triangle, Clockwork goes in to try and deal with Ghost. They say, we had enough of you last game, but Ghost continues to be the absolute pain he has been. He does go down, but a sick attempt comes out from Ghost there.
And again, multiple people in place. I think you just go to Cleave.
He shows on lane, and he elects to go and farm these back camps here. He is Roshtai, rather than the Weaver, or do you just let them take the Weaver and try and answer it? Because it just ripped and tore up that entire game.
I mean, I think Ghost has shown that he knows how to play the hero in the way that...
Of course, best hero. And where before, you would take some harass, but you'd still secure creep. Secure last hits, and you can sort of pull the lane where you need it to. Now it's bumping into is the issue with Mars removing the trees of Hoodwink. So there was a bit of counter synergy there. But in this case, Mars is on the enemy team.
Halfway to level 5.
Yeah, when Primal Beast first got back to this lane, I was going to say it, but there was some action going on. When Primal Beast first got back, the troll was level 2's time. Right, there's a moment in the game. He decides to pull back.
This Sven has been getting some really crucial stuns. Stuns that he
Stun
wasn't really getting
on
last
to build a BKB, but you're in a comp setting. Come on, guys. Please just buy a BKB. I understand he had a hard start, and maybe he thought his team could help him play around it, but... Meanwhile, back at the front of the fight, it looks like the Dinosaur is running as fast as he can from the Troll. The slow comes out from Slaughtergang onto the Wyvern, but the Wyvern is free pathing currently because of that Arctic burn, and the Wyvern is pretty significant, but I don't really see it anywhere else. Hold up, Sven taking a whole bunch of damage mid lane. Was that just a blink catch?
I'm not sure, but that was a failed cull, so...
And there's some other stuff that's sort of making its way up in the meta. So as other stuff rises, other stuff falls. Perfect example is Pango being picked a whole bunch more, not winning.
Galvanized stacks, which is something you always have to remember playing against a Storm. That you're not just, it's not just deaths for Golden Egg. The Ursa really can't man-fight him with the build that the Axe has.
Awesome pickup, by the way, Ilstaya, detecting that earlier on.
It's just...
At the moment is this Weaver. It is just so obnoxious. And it just gains HP, damage, so quick. Like, look at this. Who can bully the rat like that? Lane, they're pushing this barracks in now. MGC and RE are punching your racks, guys. Storm Spirit 45 seconds until he returns. Now, they can't go bottom lane because there is still a tower. of his fingers. Snap on the side, thinks about the cookie, but elects not to use it as of yet. Scouting on the sideline with the illusions, which is quite nice, and they're going to keep trying to dive this rat. The rat gets the cookie and is safe and under a tower. The bear decides, I want to take...
I think it's kind of worth for... That was positive. I think that was still worth it for Radiant. Honestly. Oh, and we're seeing some free CS on the tower. They're going back top.
Oh, Troll sneaking away, but the bug runs him down! That clock is in a whole lot of trouble. The clock, initially throwing the hookshot because he thought something was about to happen in his favour, turns and runs after that Storm Spirit is eviscerated by the fish. We're talking about... Oh, look out. Oh, whiffs the stun. But he is going to reappear.
Yeah,
Rod comes out. Do they go for the hook shot? Oh my god, he decides to just blink forward, but Mars is in the area
He's
with a whole bunch of cogs.
now,
He pops his BK hero.
Maybe there's just someone in the series that really likes to play Zeus.
Maybe there's a specialist. Yeah.
SF ban. I think SF has been... And it looks like this is the advantage of just the Hoodwink versus 2 melees. It's a strong hero to begin with, but then and they can't really poke you at all.
I mean, it's not even to miss
the
the Hoodwink?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because the other support is normally meant to be Frankie.
Close enough to that rat. Arcane out on the rat and they back off.
That was a little bit lucky as well. The Ursa does get, I think, first or second hit bash there. And if he doesn't, I think that could be a Rax.
3 buybacks on Slaughter Game.
I don't think they use buybacks for this. They can't get any other lane. They still have two tier 2s up. But because not only was that Reverie failing to kill someone, but he dies for it. The Darkseer honestly was never really in danger.
It so, Austrian Painters not
ban makes sense when you have a Weaver. That Night Stalker can just make your game miserable.
Comes out from the fish. The fish decides to take the shield rune. Does take the shield rune. Shackle shot. Ooh, vacuum, and it's enough to kill the Storm Spirit. Now the clock in a whole bunch of trouble himself.
That was a
Cure, Hoodwink, and Snapfire, both of the very strong supports of the patch. But then again, so was Sven and Weaver. They're both incredibly strong as well. We get the call off, followed by the shackle, and down he goes. No slam though, but the rat loses his life in return. 2 for 1 trade.
No extra Code of Blood stack for the axe, unfortunately.
Still, it does take a couple of kills here, and these 2 supports are still on the sideline here, and this is one cranky little lifestealer. Can he get a kill? Is he looking for the hookshot to try? Looks like they might try and make a tower play here. Do you reckon that's just to like draw some attention? Do you think they're actually going to commit here? I guess they got the Aegis still.
Armor reducing with his Q.
And at least we're not seeing these 2 heroes in the same team, like last time. Like, obviously they knew that, and that's why they grabbed both the Weaver and the Sven last time, because the Sven had a pretty substantial lead there, and it just sort of drops away. What goes wrong? What happened at 25 minutes, Ilstaria, that just started the swing back in the opposite direction? This will have brought vision.
I don't know if that wall was worthwhile casting, but whatever. Ari is relatively poor, all things considered. Priest of Haze obviously is very scary early on.
Well, that fish is moving quickly through the water there, Storm Spirit. You might need to drop a slow if you want to get to... Huge Sven ult comes out there.
Well, someone's career goes down.
Kiwi's courier.
But good of...
Like you step near the wave and you get hit with a static slide, and it just... God, it feels so bad. It already felt pretty bad as a melee into Storm, but now it feels just a
I don't know.
Oh, there he is. No, he's just right down the bottom. 5 picks, 40%. 40% win rate, so no. No, not a great... Ooh. Okay,
That's absolutely
watch
worth
it top.
a little bit of a committal, I think, from Dire.
I am still shocked. I couldn't even get my words out. I'm so shocked how much damage one little shredder and
Couldn't get to anyone in a fight. So I was loading into it and it just kicked me out.
That's okay. I think they do have accept the fact that your tier 2s are gone into this Clinks. But oh, hold on. They're trying to catch him again. They get the BKB out on that Storm Spirit, and here comes the Clinks, applying quite a bit of damage now, but there is a little Ogre Seal.
You have to commit so much, and you don't want to do that for a support. I don't know how this Wyvern lost the lane so hard when Aegis lifestealer with them, so they probably feel pretty confident. And then they do get the nice pick on the Storm. They lose their supports.
Seconds, 1 second until he can Shikushi. Does he find him though? He does! Beautiful kill from Weaver. Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah.
But the Sven doesn't provide a whole lot other than a stun. Might be enough to get the Wyvern out, but he'll probably lose his life here, I imagine, against these 3 heroes with a whole bunch of lockdown and even more damage. There's the stun. Just get another one! Waiting for the BKB. Drops the slow. Blink off cooldown in 10 seconds, but his phaser coming up. There's the call, and Referee's here to follow up. Punch, 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 punch. MG. Yeah, me too.
It's literally like 4 good heroes and then a Clinks.
Person with a charming personality.
Well, let's see if they can provoke. Hey, look, early Orchid on Clinks, and he's just finding.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You always kind of want to go for those places, Storm, and then sometimes they don't work out, and then you regret it so hard afterwards, and you're just like, man, what a dude.
Battle with the the side lane camp.
Yeah, so I think Ghost has been playing really, really well, and so is Johnny, and I think they're both kind of doing the same thing where they're just
About
yeah, the fact that Clinks is
I'm joking, by the way. He actually usually won the game for me on Clinks.
The fact that Clinks is innate is literally when he dies. I don't
I
really
think you're about right, Ilstaya. It's looking really hard for them at this stage. I mean, maybe the Storm can find a pick in the right location. MGC jumps forward.
It makes it as frustrating and annoying as possible, because if you're not really sort of attuned to how to play that hero from the support.
That I don't want to see a bloody good game of competitive Dota that is as hype as the last game we just saw, because last game was actually pretty competitive. There was a turning point, but the early game was pretty bad. The Clockwork is dead, but the Weaver has come to play as well. Looks like the Rat is going to run as fast as he can to try and get out of there, but ultimately dies to the urn. Ooh.
That they didn't have an Orchid Fire. This game they do, so it's going to be much scarier. And something to notice as well is they have
Here now wants to come and play, but as usual,
not sure if they'll get
these
more.
very mobile heroes just get out there.
And the Swarm just cancelling your Blink Dagger is so annoying.
Tier 6 that gets him over the top of the edge.
Yes, the epic. Oh, Marzarina.
Marzarina catches the Rat, and the Rat lane, because they've both already got one. If they're both accelerating at the same rate, which hero becomes scarier faster? Is it Storm Spirit? He hits his 6 and is able to just go take some kills because you lose vision, but because you lose vision and immediately tilt, and then remain tilted for the rest of the game. And it doesn't just happen to you once, Ilstaya, it will happen to you 40 times in a game. And god, it is. Blood Grenade comes out and Pee-wee's in a whole bunch of trouble, and that looks like a double kill for the offlane. The Dire offlane.
Looks like Lifesteal was caught up far in the lane and just... I don't think I like the Glimmer pickup on the Hoodwink, just because you want to be playing on the edge of fights, and you want to be pumping out damage. I feel like you could have but I wouldn't say it's an amazing. And
Clinks reveals in the mid lane. This is the other thing about these invis heroes, right? It's different with Ricky, because Ricky's got no timer on his invisibility. He punches and then he goes. Fire says, no, I'll take this creep and I'll give it a throw.
Shot from the
down goes Sven. I mean, it's still a pos 5. Looks like Dyer keeps bumping into pos 5, pos 5s,
yeah.
pos 4s.
I kind of want to see Reverie just ditch trying to fight with this team for a little bit and split push a bit or something.
There's that huge rod reveal once again. Oh, hang on, big call here.
He gets a call, but I think
Tower is under attack.
yeah, he has the Crystallis queued up or position. You're probably not getting max value out of it, but Ghost was getting massive value, and it was being such a thorn in the side of Dyer that I think you banned it out. It's too irritating, and I think it's some hindsight.
Okay. I think maybe the tempo of the enemy team just put him down. I saw potential there, but I think they just needed more time. But anyway, Slaughter Gang did really well
With 1,800 HP.
Slardar is stalking. We've seen what happens to this Clockwork when those two jump on top of him, and Clockwork is gone. Trading 4 for 4. He is second most picked hero, aside from Bands, of course. Which that's unbelievable that she's behind Hoodwink. I didn't realize she was quite that strong. Weaver, though, we know how strong Weaver is. And Clinks just drops 100 skeletons, and they're just stuck there next to the skeletons taking damage. That sounds alright. Sounds pretty hype.
Yeah, and then your Sven presses,
Current.
and no mana either.
Oh my god, they have vision down. Oh, and Referee goes down top, hang on.
Play. I think Mars, Clock, and Weaver now are very strong, stable laners, and I'd say it's pretty even draft. I think I like
example, a few whiffed hook shots, these sort of things, but it is a comp setting, and there is a lot of pressure on these guys. So maybe in the draft, they didn't quite think it through so much. Maybe
was alone, which he was at the start. But you saw that how much damage that the axe was doing to the Ursa, and the Ursa couldn't really man-fight it.
That troll has taken a whole bunch of damage and killed pretty quickly. But Slardar, thinking about going in here, he does have a whole bunch of damage. The Sven pops his ult to punch some cogs. Filipino Fish doing his best to just get out of there as fast as he can. Huge! Between some very scary heroes there, but the main damage dealer gets grabbed on the back by the Hoodwink. Doesn't matter though, Johnny, even with all his armor, goes down to the two very scary supports that are on top of him. But they lose the Ursa! Dookie, look at the damage coming out from that... goddamn, that Sapphire is absolutely destroying that Primal Beast. She just did so much damage there. I think it's always very strong, but it's only really ever strong in the right hand, so... Is there a Brewmaster player that I'm not aware of? Maybe. I'm sure there is. I'm still learning these teams at the moment.
Live on the Slardar, but he's very low. I think, honestly, maybe just be better to die.
PB's got a 6 for these wards, huh? No 6 on that Storm Spirit.